Hi there, it's Sally from Rickety Snippets here, and today I have a fairy tale folio to show you, but it's a fairy tale folio with a bit of a creepy twist. So it's a Halloween fairy tale Cinderella folio. So you can see we have lots of bits of really creepy kind of alternative fairy tale characters here. So we've got Cinders and we've got Prince Charming hiding. Oh, here he is, Prince Charming, and several fairy godmothers and all sorts of weird and wonderful characters that are going to the Cinderella ball. So it's a bit surreal, this one, and hoping that it's not too surreal for people, but we'll see. Anyway, so we'll get making. So I'm going to put all these bits to one side. There's actually loads of bits in this kit. I could barely fit them all on the screen. So lots of nice bits to work with. So I think I'm just going to ease these bits out. So this is the inside page. So we have our beautiful ballroom. And this is the front cover, which we are going to decorate. And we also need these long pieces to begin with. So that one. Oh, and this piece, which is going to sit on the back as a pocket. So we have our wicked stepmother and our ugly sisters. I mean, they get a bad rap, don't they? Very judgmental, these fairy tales, I think. But anyway, there we go. And that one. I think that's everything we need to begin with. Oh, another one of those. Okay, so first things first, all of the printables are available in the Rickety Snippets shop. I've printed everything onto 160 GSM cardstock and I've inked all of the edges. I think that's it. So I think we're ready to get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is put some score lines on these papers and also on these tabs on these pieces. So I'm going to get my cutting mat, grab my ruler and something to score with. So there are 2 lines here and here. So score down that line. And actually, I think I'm going to glue that one before I score it. So I'm just going to score the tops of these. So that 4 of these have tabs at the top that need a score line there. 1, 2, 1. And these 2. There we go. So I think that's it for the scoring. So I'm going to put my scoring mat to one side. Oh, no, it isn't. So we've still got to score this inside page. So the first thing I'm going to do is stick these 2 together. And then I can make those final scores on the ballroom page. So part of the reason why I score this first is so you can see these score lines on the other side of this piece, because I want to put a bit of extra glue along those lines. It just makes it less likely to pull away over time. And then all the way along the edge, really as close to the edge as you can get. And fill in the centre. Good. Just double check that's up the right way. And put glue all over it. No, it isn't, so good job I checked. So the lacy bit goes at the bottom. And then stick this on top. So. Right, now I can get rid of my cutting mat. I'm just going to run over that as well with a bone folder. Should give you a nice even surface there. Okay, a little bit needs trimming off the bottom, so just take that off. More ink on there. Okay, so, oh, I don't believe it. Still need the cutting out mat. Right, so I'm going to score down these two lines. Applying a little bit of pressure there because I want it to impact that second page underneath again. And then I'm going to fold in. So if you find that your line is not pulling up where you want it to, just line your ruler up against that fold or the scored line, and then run your finger along that edge where you've pulled it up. Do the same the other side. That's it. And then I'm going to fold it in. Run my bone folder down that fold. Now, they don't quite meet in the middle, which is actually what we want. So don't panic. Because we're going to put a little lace trim, which is also going to act as our closure on here. So these are our two front pages, which open up to reveal our ballroom. I'll deal with that in a minute. Actually, we'll do the back first. Let's do the back first. So this is our back pocket, which actually I haven't put any ink on. No, that's it. Just think that. So it's going to sit up there. Now, I also am thinking I might just take the edges off of those. So this is completely optional. You can leave them square like that. But there is just a little bit of the pattern showing around on the inside there. So that you can have round edges if you want to. So I'm just going to use a really small punch for that. So it's just taking a little bite out of that. There we go. It's quite nice, just taking the edge off, as it were. Although this is quite an edgy folder, I think, so, or folio. So perhaps I should have left those sharp edges. So this is up to you, but you could also put a little notch out of there as well, because there's some overlapping pattern there underneath, because this is going to be a pocket. So I'm actually not going to put one in mine, but so we want glue along 3 edges, so along the top and the bottom and along that back edge. Just line that up with the back of the folio. There you go, which just gives us a really nice big pocket. Okay, that's our back done. So yes, on the front we're going to have a piece of lace just over one side, or over one of these front covers. So it's just going to stick. You don't have to be very precise about this, but just put a little bit of glue right along. So there's a really sort of deep curve on this side, and then a lesser curve on that side. So, and I'm gluing along that edge with that kind of less deep kind of a pattern. And then I'm just going to stick it along the edge. It kind of roughly lines up with this line that goes through that bit of lace. But don't worry if it doesn't go exactly in the same place. Oh, I meant to put some ink as well on the back of this. Not really going to see it very much, but to ink it up, I think. I should have done this before, I think, really. So make a note to do that before you stick it on. So we have another piece for the other side. There we go. So same thing again. I'm going to stick the glue along this less wibbly side. And then just stick it to the edge. Actually, I might put just a line. Just where the folio meets that lace piece. So we're not sticking these together, okay? And what we really want is for this back piece to very slightly overlap or protrude out. So I hope you can see that. That bit at the back is just sticking out a little bit. Okay, and then I'll show you how that all works, because that is our closure. But I'm just going to let it dry a little bit, because it needs to be quite solidly set by the time we start using it. Okay, so next we have 2 really long hidden paper clips to sit on the front and also inside. So they're going to hang right over the edge of these 2 pieces, and then they'll be removable. So put that aside. So what we have two pieces with lace on them with a tab, and we have two pieces with an image on them and a tab, and then should then have 4 other pieces. So these go together. So all the lacy pieces go together. So let's leave those there for a minute. And then this one, so these images are paired with a piece with some very faint handwriting on. Okay. So we scored these so we can fold our tabs. Fold along our tab. That we actually want them to sit so they're folded in like that, and then excuse me, then I'm going to take one of the handwritten pieces. So I'm looking up at this piece with the handwriting up the right way. Okay. And then he's up the wrong way from where I'm looking. Okay. So we want a bit of glue on the tab. And we're just going to stick that up to the line, up to the folded line. When it's still drying, just kind of check it over to see that it's square. Okay, and then the same with this one. So she goes upside down, and the piece with the handwriting, though it's so faint on there, probably can't see it much anyway. So that piece goes, so it's facing the right way for you to read if you were going to be reading it. And then just stick that again onto the tab. Fold it up and check that it's all lined up. So you might have a little bit that hangs over at the bottom, but that's fine. It's really checking that those sides are lined up nicely. It's a bit skew, I think. Better. Okay. So that's those two. And then there's these as well. So you won't see these very much. But just there to make the inside of the paperclip look nice, really. So again, you can turn those two upside down. And then it's up to you how you arrange these. I kind of see that this bit is the bottom. These bits, if you can see that. And then you could match them like that, or have them so they're different. I might match them up actually. So same thing again, bit of glue on the tab. Line them up. Okay, these ones are actually going to go and be folded in this way. And then we're going to grab a couple of paper clips and just put them over that folded edge. So they don't have to be especially long or anything. It's just to hold your paper. I'm just really gently easing the paper clip apart a little bit, just so that it's not too tight when it sits on top of our folio. Easier said than done, though. And what you don't want to do is make any of it kind of stick out too much by just bending it up. So it can take a little bit of manipulation to do that. I'm just going to put it over that edge. The same with this one. You see I've bent that too much now. I don't know if you can see that. Should be right. Okay. There we go. So the next thing to do is to have a look inside this piece and check where the tab is. So what I like to do, just to stop it getting too bulky, is to have the tab on the opposite side, so not to stick one tab down on the other. I hope that makes sense. So I'm going to stick some glue right over the paper clip, right up to the edge there. So kind of concentrating my glue on the top there. And I also want to turn this front one into a pocket. I meant to put some ink on that to stop it being so white. So just put some along there. And also on this edge. Okay. Do this one while I'm there. So it's just wherever you want your opening, so you don't have a lot of sort of glaring white. So, I've put that on the wrong side. Great. I've done it wrong on this one as well. Yes. Genius today. That's it. Let's put some there. Okay. So I'm just going to take a little, Okay, so I'm just going to take a little nick with the punch out of this edge. So this will be the back, so you won't see this, but it will help you get your ephemera in and out of that pocket a little bit. There. And one in this one as well. Okay, all of which I should have done really before I started on this, but never mind. There we are. So we've got some glue on the top there, which is pretty set now, but so you want to make quite a good job of this at the top. And then I'm going to kind of draw a line with the glue as well, which will be where my pocket starts, so the top of my pocket, and then just some glue along that back edge and some along the bottom, though. So I'm going to go a bit deep on the bottom because we might end up cutting some of it off. So once you've done a paper clip, the edges often shift because it's allowing for that the depth of the paper clip and all sorts. So, okay, so that is going to stick. Let's do it. Right, okay, making a meal of this today. Right, so that is, I'm going to stick the front cover over that paper clip where we've just glued that. And then before I really push it down, just make sure those edges all line up again. And leave enough room for the paper clip on the top. Yeah, that's okay. And then I'm going to do the same here as well. So I'll put a bit of glue in that gutter as well. And then I'm going to actually seal this up so this won't be a pocket, this side. So we've got the line at the top. Lots of glue down one side. Oh no, well, around the edges. And glue all around. It doesn't hurt to put extra glue still at the top there just because of the paper clip. There we are. And fold that bit in. Oopsie. There we are. That shifted. That's a bit annoying. Still quite wet, my glue, so that's good. There we are. And then once it's dried a little bit, you can trim off any bits that are not quite matching up. And I think it's take a little bit off the front. And reapply any ink where you need it. There we go. One Cinderella really long paper clip. And then the same for this one. So pocket on this side. You could do them the other way around if you like. That would work. Okay, so glue all the way around there. Create a line. Down one side. Along the bottom. And remembering to put a little bit extra down the bottom in case you have to trim anything. Okay. So before it sets, just double check again that it's all lining up. Okay. And then a bit of glue in the gutter. All the way around that paper clip. All over the top there. Right up to the edges. And then finally fill in that middle bit. pulled to that edge down. Look what a mess I've made. Glue and ink all over the table. Fun though, making a mess, isn't it? And then I think this one's okay. It just needs a little bit of a trim at the front again. There we are. Okay, so these are going to hang, so side by side, they're going to hang over the tops of here. I'm going to let them set a little bit, let that glue dry before I actually put them on there. But so we've got our Prince Charming and Cinderella side by side. And then these bits will hang over each door. So when you open it up, you'll have this side, which are going to have pockets all the way down. So 3 pockets on each side. So we need these little pockets. So there are 6, all with this kind of lovely blue vintage lace on it. There you go. So, oh, one more. Not sure where that's gone. So there. Okay, I'll show you, and hopefully it will turn up in a minute. But I don't know what I've done with that. So I'll do one side where we have 3 pockets in a minute. So the lacy bit goes at the bottom. I mean, you can obviously do this any way you like. So you could have use them as they are with that straight edge. Should be quite nice, but I think I'm going to actually rip the tops of them. So just take a little bit off that top edge. And then I'm going to ink it. I'm going to do the same for all of the pieces. Here it is, our final piece. I found it. So I'm just going to tear the top of that too. If you find this a bit fiddly, you could leave the white paper, not cut it out quite as closely to the actual pocket when you're cutting out, which give you a little bit more to grab hold onto. So I just actually, so again, your choice, you could have them so that they're staggered up that piece of paper, or what I would want to do with them is to just slightly overlap them like that. So my first pocket is going to start about here, a piece of writing. I'm just doing this by eye, so if you want to measure them, go ahead. I know people like to be a bit more precise than I do sometimes. So just along the bottom, put glue on along the bottom and the 2 sides. You could also make these a tuck probably, but you want to keep the glue really close to those edges because they're already quite small pockets. So if you're going to get things in there, battle to get your stuff in. That's the first one. And then the same for all of the others. And there we go. So we have our two hidden paper clips. So one is going to sit on this side over our one front cover. And then the other one is going to sit on over this cover. Yeah. And so this now, the closure will be quite dry now, so I can show you. So you want a bone folder or maybe a ruler or a kind of bluntish knife, and you're just going to pull along that edge. So just ease this piece, this frill upwards. So you don't want to bend it. It's just like a gentle easing of it upwards. And then you want to do the same on the other side. And this one you can give a good kind of pull to. Yeah, so it just kind of separates them a bit like that. I mean, they will go back a little bit together, but and then what you can do, so you get this page and you just fit it between the two. Like that. And the whole thing kind of holds together. That is your closure. There you go. And that gets easier as well over time. I also meant I was going to try rounding these edges. So that's something you could do. I think they'd be a bit too thick now. Let's try on the paper clips. I might do it in a minute, but yeah, you could use your corner edger again. I don't mind them straight like that really, but they might look quite nice with a rounded edge. You could also, I think they will be too thick because that's now 4 bits of card up there, but you could round those edges before you started making those paper clips as well if you wanted. So all there is left to do is to put all of our bits. Oh no, there's one more pocket. So we have a hidden pocket in the middle here. So this beautiful ballroom. So this kind of balcony, we have a hidden pocket there. So a bit of glue along each side and some along the bottom. And then just put that in place. and line it up with the pattern underneath, or the picture underneath. When I inked that, I did put a little bit of ink, just kind of rested it on the top so that you don't get your white line, but not actually along the edge, so you don't have a really definite kind of line giving away where that pocket is. So just check it folds in, it's fine. So if your inside, if your fold lines, if it overlaps that slightly, you might have to just trim the edges a little bit. But it should be okay. Right, so then we have all of these lovely bits to fill our pockets with. So we have another Cinderella, because I thought since she is the belle of the ball, we ought to have that image again. So she's quite big, so I think we'll put her in the back pocket here. And let's fill these little bits here. So we've got lots of little tiny bits of ephemera. So the ballroom, and you can just have things peeking out a little bit, or depends how high you want. You might not want to obscure that. You might just want to tuck tiny things in so you can't see them in that pocket. But we have her coach horse who's been kind of semi-magicked. Bit of a fairy godmother there. And a rags, Cinderella in her rags there. Still looking very glamorous, but rags, as they often do in these programs, they still, or in these fairy tales, they still manage to look gorgeous even when they're not supposed to. So several people attending the ball here. Their glowing red eyes. Got the king and queen, a bit big really. I'll put them in the back, I think. It's a lovely lady. We have a glass slipper. Put that in the front there. And 3 mice have been transformed into their ball gowns. I think in the story they're actually footmen, aren't they? But they can be foot persons. And our beautiful blue fairy godmother. Have her at the top. And what else have we got? She's a bit tall for the pockets, but another fairy godmother. I don't think you can have too many fairy godmothers, can you? Perhaps her up there. So there's all those bits. There's also some little sayings for this, or some words. There's a rags to riches, which we could stick on somewhere. Oh, there's another one. And you shall go to the ball. Might stick that on a pocket. Something on there. And there's 2 more, but I seem to have lost one of them. And when the clock strikes midnight, which I might have on here because there's our clock about to strike midnight there. So yeah, I'll stick those on. To make this one kind of grungy, but also kind of a bit surreal and glamorous, but evil as well. I don't know, it's got a very surreal vibe about it, this one, which I hope other people are going to enjoy. I enjoyed making it, but sometimes you wonder. There we are. So I think, no, is that a bit much? I like her in there, but not both of them. Feels a bit much there. So that's the inside done, I think. Save that. Maybe another one on another pocket, or we can stick it onto, so we could have it stuck. I might stick it onto there. And her raggedy picture. There we are. So we can close that up using our closure. Slip that page in front of the back flap and behind that front one. There we are. Square her up a little bit. So we have these front pockets, so we can perhaps put this rags to riches. Rags inside the riches there. Made that too small. So we've got some glue where it shouldn't be. No, okay. Might have to be some smaller pieces. See if she'll fit in here. Yes, she'll go in that one. There we are. And then I think I'll just stick some of these in the back. So lots of lovely pieces to play with there, or to use in other projects. Put them in there. And so that's it. So we've got our front covers opening up into our lovely ballroom. Oh, lovely they're kind of like a balcony, aren't they? Like overlooking the ballroom and all looking out. And then our closure. There. That down. And our 3 bells of the ball on the back. So I really hope you enjoy it and it's not too weird for you. I don't know. Anyway, let me know if you like it, and I might make some more weird folios. Okay, hope you enjoy it. See you again soon. Bye.